Never found a love like this. There it is. I've never found a love like this.
Hello, everybody. Player ratings time. Manchester City 3, West Ham 0. I am joined by a special guest. At the bottom there. You know who he is. Got the two watch-along kings. Charlie Walsh is in the building.
Nah,
Charlie.
there's only one, and he's down there.
No,
Danny. Also,
Danny boy.
right, I'm eating a pan of chocolat. Sorry, it's almost gone. I promise. It's almost gone. You're right. Thank you for having me. How are you?
All good, mate. All good. And WestHamOnline, the burner account is entered the fray and all.
Charlie
Walsh is here. Yeah. WestHamOnline's a prick, mate, honestly. I swear to God. Charlie, what would you want to say about that performance tonight, mate?
It is what it is. It's Manchester City, innit? I said 3-0 before the game.
Yeah.
At half-time, I got a little bit more confident, but ultimately, I mean, it was one of those games where if you even give up a little bit, they'll take it and they'll score. We gave up a bit in the second half and they scored. It just is the way it is. It's nothing. It's not make or break for our season. It's not that deep. You prefer us to win, but obviously that's the way it goes sometimes. 3-0. Yeah, it's probably fair, isn't it?
Yeah. Alfred, what do you want to say about tonight's performance before we get started?
I think Elite Analyst put it perfectly. It was a game of two halves, and the team from Manchester took the second. I think we were unlucky tonight. I think Moyes will count himself unlucky that we didn't lose 1-0. I would have taken a 1-0 loss for the goal difference. I think it was a bit wrong at Man City, considering the alliance we've sort of formed lately, to go and get that second and third. But, you know, it is what it is.
Have you been drinking tonight, Alfie?
No, I haven't. I've been on the water.
Yeah, fucking what water you been on? Right, let's get into this. Let's start off at the beginning. Is this man? If my thing will work.
Felt like a 2-0 tonight. I just wanted to say.
I do want to quickly disclose something. I have only watched the last 15 minutes of the first half and then the second half. So I've watched 60 minutes. 60 minutes.
You're not a true fan. You're supposed to be WestHamOnline burner account. So
I was watching on Google.
You're West Ham part-time.
West Ham part-time account. Charlie Walsh, who did watch the game from start to finish, he can go first. What do you say about Fab, mate?
Yeah, he's all right. High 6. He did what he did. Maybe you could make an argument he could have done better for the Haaland one, but I think that'd be harsh, though. High 6, I think he's all right.
Fuck me, Elterdon's in here. Jack, don't be giving Ben Rum any dodgy ratings tonight, lad. I won't be able to that. He did get on the pitch. I agree with you, Charlie. I'll go next. I'll go a high 6. I'll give him a 6 out of 10. What can he do for any of the goals? Nothing really. Do you know what I mean? First half, he done all right. Second half, they just turned it on, didn't they? So it's a bit of a quick, easy rating. WestHamOnline.
From what I watched, he was a 6, just standard. He did do something dodgy, but I can't quite remember what it was now. But yeah,
his distribution.
No, it was okay. He was fine. He gets a 6 for me, just for being our best goalkeeper.
Yeah, Lucas.
Yeah, just a 6. Distribution still awful.
Yeah, let's move on to this man, Vladimir Kufal. Me and Lucas are going to clash on this one.
No, we're not. No, we're not. We're not.
I thought he was fucking good in the first half, right? So what you saying, Lucas, for his rating?
For the people that are wondering, in Fever, I don't know if he's still wondering because I've told him about 5 times now. I did not think Kufal was bad in the first half, but to say what you were saying, I disagree. But Kufal tonight, passing wasn't too great. There's one point in the match where he won the ball back and he just showed how awful his dribbling ability is because he couldn't turn to the right to make one more pass to get us up the pitch. But I don't know. Besides that, I thought he was okay. I thought he defended. I thought he was better tonight as like part of a defensive unit than individually. I really thought Jack Grealish was fantastic tonight, and But again, I really didn't expect much because I do rate Jack Grealish very highly. And I don't think Soufal really hindered him into any mistakes or made his life tough. That's all I'm gonna say. But tonight I'm gonna give him a again. Tonight didn't feel like a 3-0 to me. It was like a very 3-0 to me. I'm gonna give Soufal I'm gonna give him a strong 6. Strong 6.
Fair enough. I'll go next. I'm going to give him a strong 6 and all. I thought he was decent first half, second half. He got a bit fan out. I will say this: he's going to be a major blow for us now. Now he's out. He's injured. Like, I don't know what that is. If that's an hamstring, that's a couple of weeks, if not the end of the season for him. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'll give him a 6 out of 10. I thought he'd done all right first half, second half. Got injured, went off. 6 out of 10. Charlie.
Yeah, I agree. I think he was good. I like him a lot. It sucks that he's gone. I thought he did well. Can't really think of any major mistakes he made, really, to be honest. Tough game, and he dealt with it really well up till that. I would say high 6. Potentially pushing a low 7, but high 6.
Are you worried now, Charlie, about that right-hand side? Because now we've got Ben Johnson or Kehrer. What's got there?
I mean, I'm worried about one of them. It's not Ben Johnson. I'm worried about Kehrer. But, I mean, what can he do? This is the problem. Like, we've got a squad that's unbelievably thin. We've got a lot of people in there who we don't want to play. And so when someone gets injured, That's sort of the fault of how it goes. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how deep it is. I'm not too worried until we know he's out for a significant chunk of time. I'm not too concerned.
It never hits me until they actually touch the pitch. Then I'm like, oh, shit. Here we go again.
Yeah.
I agree. West Ham Online, Kafal.
From what I watched, he weren't very good, but I didn't. Yeah, he kept clearing it, and it was the worst clearances I've ever seen. He kept going to clear it and clearing it about 10 yards, which was worrying. His one-on-one defending was all right. I agree with Lucas. I thought Jack Grealish was really good from what I watched once again. Yeah, he was okay, I guess. I wouldn't say he was good. I wouldn't say he was terrible. He's getting a 6 from me.
Fair enough, mate. Let's move on to this man. There's a lot of stick, so I'm going to let West Ham Online take it away for Kehrer.
He was my man of the match from what I watched. And I've criticised him a lot. But I thought he was good. He put in a couple good tackles on Haaland. I will be honest, I thought one of them was a penalty. Haaland didn't. I think because Haaland's so much bigger than him, he didn't quite feel the contact that much, so he didn't complain. But I will be honest, he definitely got Haaland first. It probably should have been a penalty. But Kehrer's passing was decent. I thought he tracked back well. I thought the second goal, for Haaland's goal, he stepped up well. But Ogbonna was too slow and he didn't step up. Haaland would have been offside if Ogbonna actually stepped up when Kehrer did. So that was poor from Ogbonna and good from Kehrer, in my opinion. I thought Kehrer was good. I like him in this back five. I think that's his best position as a right centre-back in the back five. So I'm going to give him a 7.
Charlie?
I mean, it's his only position. I don't want to see him in any other context. Yeah. But he did all right today, to be fair. I thought he played well. I thought he dealt with the stuff he had to deal with well. There was one time in the first half I remember specifically where he was covering something. I can't remember, but he got across really well. And I was like, oh, hello.
He did. I remember that. Yeah.
But yeah, I thought he did well. Probably high 6, low 7, high 6. Let's go high 6 as well. It's going to be a very high 6 game for me, I think. But yeah, I thought he did all right. I was surprised. And I think this is the only system I want to see him in. I don't want to see him in any other context ever. But at right centre back in a back three, I'm happy to deal with that.
Lucas?
No, I'm on the same wavelength as Charlie, as I always am, because we're just two like minds.
Great minds in it.
So a lot of high 6s and potential 7 debates for me. I think Kehrer deserves a 7 today. Just again, and I'm not trying to give them any sort of score because it's City. Like, I really don't care. But I thought today we did play decent, and he done a lot of decent stuff. 86% pass accuracy, cleared the ball plenty, couple interceptions, won his duels. And again, the second goal, yes, there could have been more done, but at the end of the day, I really don't think anyone in the Premier League is stopping that run from Haaland. But so 7 for me.
For me, 7 out of 10. I thought it was decent today. I really did. I agree with what Charlie said in the first half. He cut that ball out. I think it was from Rodri. I think the ball otherwise would have come across and Haaland would have had an easy tapping. Second half, he was unlucky, really, like to be on the losing side for me, because he did play pretty decent and he didn't really do a lot wrong, and he gets a lot of stick, Tino. So yeah, I'll give him a 7 out of 10. We move on though to the veteran. That is Ogbonna, and I will start off with Charlie Walsh.
Yeah, apart from the goal, I thought he was good. I think the goal is.
Yeah.
I think the goal is an error. I think he gets bullied a little bit when he shouldn't. I don't know. I think that's stupid. But apart from that, I thought he was good. And I don't want to judge him too harshly on that single moment, despite the fact it was bad. But because I thought he was decent. He's a big man. He's got a shiny dome, and I respect it. High 6.
WestHamOnline.
I heard he was good in this first half, and
He was good.
The last 15 minutes of the first half I did watch, he was good, but I thought he was not good enough in the second half. I don't know whether it's his age, whether he can only play a certain amount of time well. As I say, I did hear he was really good in the first half, but second half he made 2 glaring mistakes for me. Obviously, I'm going to blame the other players as well, but he's meant to be one of the leaders in the team. He's got to communicate, and for that set piece, he had 2 people on him for a good 10 seconds and didn't say anything, so that was terrible. Second goal, he doesn't step up. He's done that on a few occasions this season, especially in that pack 5. It happened at Newcastle away as well, where he didn't step up and Newcastle went in for a 1-on-1. Wilson scored. He keeps doing it. So for me, he made 2 mistakes leading to goals, so I can't give him above a 6. But just for the first half, I will give him a 6.
Lucas.
Tough one for me. First half was brilliant. I would have given him probably like a strong 7, and then second half, I still thought he was all right. I agree partially with Alfie on the set piece goal. I do think though, at the end of the day, he does have to probably speak up, but that should already be like covered in my opinion, because when you do that, when you're lining up for the set piece, I feel like everyone should be analyzing like where everyone's at, but he also should probably speak up that he has 2 men, and ultimately it was 2-on-1 and he got beat. Second goal, I would say he's definitely more at fault for, in my opinion, and that's just because he's getting on. So for me, it's just a tough one. I'm gonna give him because first half he was just so good. I mean, 8 clearances, 7 headed clearances. I mean, Christ above. I'm gonna give him. I think my averages are going to come out to a strong 6. Strong 6.
I'm going to agree. 6 out of 10 for me. First up, I thought he was excellent. I thought he was West Ham's best player by a country mile. Positioning was absolutely brilliant. Second half, his positioning was bad, especially for the first goal. Second goal, he's a bit unlucky. If he times his run a bit better, he plays Haaland offside. But Haaland, you've got to give him credit. He's world class, isn't he? Well, he's top class at the minute. And yeah, basically, I'll give him a 6. Right, but for that first half performance, he was pretty good. So yeah, we move on to this man, Aaron Cresswell. You know who I'm going to first. West Ham Online. Go ahead.
From what I watched, but his pass, which. There's 2 massive errors that came after this. It was just a bad pass, but he made.
It was a bad pass, though. It was.
Yeah, it was a bad pass. But
it wasn't under any pressure whatsoever. He just passed it straight to the City player.
Yeah, bad pass, but it was about 35 yards away from goal. Really bad pass for the goal. Downs makes a tackle, which I don't believe he had to make, and then obviously the set piece, which we spoke about. So that was bad from Creswell. But from what I watched, he was all right. I really did think he on the ball he looked good. Once again, I only saw 60 minutes, but I thought the left-hand side in general, their passing was actually pretty good. So I'm going to give him a nothing brilliant, but a high 6 for Creswell.
Can't give him a nice 6. I'll go next. I'll give him a 6 out of 10. I think I disagree completely with you. Like the passes to someone and they go on the counter, and Flynn has to make the tackle, otherwise they're going to score.
There's still so many players back, and it was literally about 35 yards away.
But it's still a bad pass, though, isn't it? It's a pass
that happens about 50 times a match.
I get that, but that pass has led to an incident that's obviously took them up the pitch, give them a free kick, and then they've scored from it. So, I'll give him a standard 6. I agree with what you're saying. He was all right, but the pass was just awful. So yeah, standard 6 for me. Charlie.
Don't know. I think he was all right. I think he did well outside of that error.
Yeah.
But it's not the reason the goal happens, but it is an error in the build up to it. You can't discount it. I don't know. I thought he was all right. I'd go with sort of somewhere in between the both of you. What's in between a 6 and a high 6? An okay
Strong.
6. I don't know. Strong. It's a strong 6. I thought he was all right. I like Aaron Cresswell more than people give credit for, and I think it's a difficult game to go in at left centre back. I think my biggest criticism of him, was he could have and should have got forward into the positions he used to when he played left centre back. He used to get into sort of that sort of final third and not get to the byline, but just sort of be able to ping in those early crosses. And he didn't really do that. Obviously, we're facing Manchester City, and you have to be aware of the counter attack. But it's just sort of it lessens what he can do from that position when I think he's really good. I thought he was right though. I thought he had a good game outside of that one thing, really. And not something I'm ideally looking for a back 5, but I think I thought he did all right in that circumstance.
I'm just going to get to this comment here from John. John, I've told him to come on because he's part of the fucking team. And he's got to turn up to player rating, so he's here, John. I do agree though. The man should be watching 90 minutes, not 60 minutes. Part-time online, I'm going to call him. Lucas.
No choice, sadly, today.
I know you didn't. Lucas, what you saying for Chris?
A weird one for me today. I mean, he wasn't bad today, but wasn't good. The pass that led to the counterattack was incredibly poor. But I actually thought him and Emerson weren't too bad down the left. But still, for me, Cresswell just really doesn't offer a lot for me. He's just like really basic. And people will call Flynn Downs basic. And, Aaron Cresswell might be the Flynn Down of left backs for me right now. He just really doesn't give me a spark. He's not very innovative. But again, he didn't do anything horrible today. Didn't do anything great. So a 6. 6
out of 10 for Cresswell. We will move on to this man. God, this is going to be fun. Emerson. Lucas, I'm going to let you defend your man because you see Emerson.
I don't have a man. We're sending that straight. I have no mans. None.
Right.
Controversial.
Controversial there, but I'll let you go first. Emerson.
Again, I feel the same about Cresswell, really. I thought they both worked decent down the left-hand side together when going forward. I do think Emerson links up play better with Paqueta and just in general going down the left. Didn't really do a lot wrong today, in my opinion. I know the third goal gets deflected off him. I'm really not here to argue about that. If you argue about that, I think you're an evil person, aka Alfie.
How is it evil to turn away from the ball?
But for me, Emerson, I truly do think he did a little bit more than Cresswell today. Not a lot.
No, he didn't.
Emotional damage.
I don't know if it's enough for me to give him a strong 6. So I'm gonna also give him a 6. I think he could have done a bit more today. but not enough for a strong 6 for me. So he gets a 6. 6 out of 10.
Alfie, defend yourself.
I don't think he was bad, but at the end of the day, he was playing as the attacking player, if you like, on the left-hand side. Yeah. I don't really get what he does, to be honest. Yes, his short passing is pretty good. He keeps the ball well. He keeps the ball better than most of our players, but I think he is lazy. I don't think he's an intelligent footballer at all. I think he turned his back on the third goal and it wasn't good enough. Did I think he was bad today? No, I didn't. I didn't think he was bad today. I thought from what I saw, he was one of our better players. But I just don't like what he offers as a footballer. I really don't. I don't think he offers enough. But I'm going to give him a high 6. A high 6, yeah.
High 6.
And just to tell you, because I know you missed it, I did witness with my own eyes. I will try and get footage because I know you have this little lazy thing with him. I saw him literally bust his butt back about 60 yards.
He should
when
he's getting
and he
paid.
does. He does work.
He doesn't. Look, I could get you about 10 clips of him being lazy as
10.
hell.
You got
Right, I
one.
will speak to West Ham clips and hook that up. Right, Charlie, talk to me about Emerson. Who's right and who's wrong in that situation, Charlie?
In the Lucas Alfie situation or in the Emerson Foden situation?
Lucas Alfie.
I don't really have a strong opinion on Emerson, if I'm being honest. He's just sort of there. I think he's Masuaku, but a bit better. You know,
I think Emerson is an all right player. I think he's all right.
He's all right, isn't he? He's all right. I think he carries the ball well. I like the fact he sort of. I mean, him and Cresswell are just very different players.
Do I want Emerson to be my starting left back next season? No.
Sure.
Do I want Cresswell? Absolutely not. Neither of them should be starting.
Jules Lewis.
But do you find, though, Charlie, that he does work well with Paqueta, though, on that left? Emerson, to a point.
Yeah, no more than Cresswell, in my opinion, but yeah.
But Emerson
he
does
just gets further forward.
Yeah,
I think that's
agree
the
with that.
difference between the two of them. I don't think they have an innate link that him and Cresswell don't have. I think he just gets more forward, right? And I think in games when he's playing left wing back like today, I think that's a benefit to his game, right? You want someone who's actually going to get forward. And then in other games, it's not as useful. So you go for Cresswell, right? I think it's difficult. The left back situation is just a mess in general. I mean,
I agree.
He should, realistically, Emerson shouldn't have been brought in the first place. That's not because he's bad or anything. Because there was a time when I really, really liked Emerson, but it's just because it just doesn't really make sense as a club thing. I think today he should have. I think the goal. I think he should have done better with the goal. I think him and Ben Rama specifically. I think him more so than Ben Rama. Don't get me wrong. Certainly, but I don't think it's either of them are to blame necessarily because the ball comes out from a set piece and Foden just gives it a big old wallop and it's in the back of the net. It is what it is. I think he should do better from it, but it is what it is. I'd give him a low 6 probably. I mean, I don't really have that strong opinion on him. I don't really know. I don't know. He's just sort of about it.
Foden agrees with me. Jack Foden agrees with.
What'd you say, Alf?
Fucking hell! Listen, it's like, what about Jack Elton agreeing with you? Because he just don't agree with nothing.
In my overall opinion, I think Emerson links up play well, and really that's about it. Like he's not a brilliant passer of the ball.
Right. Listen, I'm going to say this.
You cannot keep going on about this, and then you say nothing about Cresswell. Cresswell does nothing.
Better than him. Cresswell doesn't switch off in the same way. Cresswell
and Emerson has also had a better run of form
I don't know
this season
about that,
than Cresswell
Alfred.
ever has this season.
Last year he switched off twice.
Cresswell. Better than...
I will say I prefer Aaron Cresswell to Emerson. I will say.
Yeah, I do by a lot as well.
I know you do.
Think it's close.
But again, we need to move on from both of them, and that's the main issue.
I like.
Right. Can I get to my rating? Is that right? Yeah. Thank you so much. Right, Emerson better on the left hand side. Works well with Paqueta, 100%. Cresswell don't get up the fucking pitch enough for me. Doesn't advance into their box. Yeah, I know, but you're gonna knock him. Today he was playing as a left winger, Alf. He ain't playing as a left back. He's playing as a left winger today. Do you know what I'm saying? And you're knocking him for him turning his back. Do you know what I mean? You turn your back many a time on Sunday League, mate. I know. I've seen
Yeah,
it.
but
Right?
I'm not,
So,
I'm
listen.
not good enough either.
You know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying? You do turn your back a lot. But for me, when I look at Cresswell and him, they both need to go, really. They're both fucking crap. So, yeah, I'll give him a 6 out of 10, Emerson, today. He does work well with Paqueta, though, I will say that. And that's a plus. So, yeah. Anyway, let's move on from them to this man, Flynn Downs. Charlie.
Downs.
That's literally every one of my ratings today, bar Cara today. Meh.
Yeah, I don't know. He seems like a nice guy, doesn't he?
Well, I do slightly know him, but go on, carry on.
All right, hot shot. All right.
Do you know what I mean?
All right. Well, I met Marlon Harewood once. It's your deal. Okay. We all know
Good
people.
man. Good man.
We all know people. I don't know. He's fine. He sort of exists. He's about. I thought he did okay in the first half. I thought. I don't know. Flynn Downs is just whatever. He's the most like mid player I've ever seen in my life. Maybe he's fine.
Yeah.
Fine with it. Yeah, he's all right. 6, low 6.
I'll go next. What Flynn is a young player learning his trade in the Premier League. It's exactly that. Like he's come to the Premier League this season, his first season at West Ham. He's a backup player at best. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, you just know. Listen, it was an average. It was just an average performance. Do you know what I'm saying? And I'll give him a 6 out of 10. The yellow card. People were saying about the yellow card. Should he have fouled him? If you don't foul him and he scored, people are saying, "Well, why ain't he fouled him and took a booking?" So you can't have it both ways.
I will say this, just because you've reminded me that the free kick thing.
Yeah,
it is a little bit. He doesn't need to do it. It's a bit of a. He doesn't need to do it.
I agree.
But if he don't do it, though, Charlie, if you don't do it and they go on to score, the fan base are going, why is Flynn not just took him out?
I don't necessarily disagree with that, but it is a bit. If my uncle had wheels, she'd be a bicycle. Do you know, it's like it is all a bit hypothetical. I think you look at it and it's probably not going to lead to anything. But
yeah,
I don't know. I don't want to drag him too much for it because it is what it is. I would say though, in general, I don't see him as a young player learning his trade in Premier League. He's 24. He's a senior player at this point. He's played countless games. He should be good enough to step into the team, and I don't think he necessarily is. I've not really seen anything from him and gone, this is the guy.
Looking at him? Are we looking at him and thinking like that he's just going to walk in and be like Deck? Because he's nowhere near it. Can you see what I'm saying?
No, but he should. No, but I don't. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You shouldn't. But I'm not comparing him to Declan Rice.
Right.
I'm comparing him to. I would put Thomas Tuchel in the team 9 times out of 10 over him. I really don't.
Right.
Downs is fine. He's all right. But it's like, is he really like? Are you saying this guy has what it takes to start for a team who is supposed to be pushing for like 7th place? I don't know. I don't see it. Like he's fine. He's fine, and that's talking in a much bigger, broader sense than just this.
But would you say though? But he's a backup though, isn't he? He's not
great player to have in the team.
Yeah, he's a backup player. He's not a first teamer. Like he's not the one that you're ultimately going to put in the 11 straight away. Do you know what I'm saying? So I know what you're saying. I'll give him a 6 anyway. Lucas.
Yeah, I'm gonna give Flynn just a 6 today. I wasn't too keen on the foul he committed. I thought he could have gone around the defender personally, or at least gave him a bit more of a challenge. But he had a very good ball today. Played a long forward pass to Bowen today into space, which again, that was about really the only right thing he did. But other than that, just an average performance. I do think, and I've said this for forever now. So we have a lot of decent players that I think work well against certain tactics and certain clubs. And obviously today, if Souček and Rice weren't sick, Flynn Downs would not have been playing today. But I do think there is potential for Flynn Downs at this club. And just like Paqueta, just like Kerr and others that come into the Premier League, you're rarely going to hit the ground running. So I'm hoping after a year of learning behind Rice, playing some matches, playing some European football, next season he can take the next step, whatever that may be. I'm not going to say he's the next this or that, but yeah,
What do you mean?
Today, 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10. I've got to get to this comment. I wouldn't be harsh on Flynn. He hardly gets a game time. And when he plays, he has to play Manchester City. He's got a valid point. Every time Flynn's played away from home this season, he's played Manchester United away, Liverpool away, Manchester City away. That's 3 against the top, like the big 6 away from home, Tottenham away. Like, and people are criticising him. So it's a bit sort of like.
But in some of those other games, he's actually good.
We have played some good games in Europe.
I feel the same way about that with so many other players like Souček. I love Souček personally, but there's some matches where he just shouldn't be on the pitch, in my opinion. You
still got to weigh it up, though. You're chucking him in, like against Tottenham away, for instance. And Alfie can back this. Alfie was fuming that Moyes done that and just chucked him up top, like in a system that just didn't work. So,
and I'll be honest with you. If you told me right now, if I had to switch between. If you gave me the chance to get Kieran Dewsbury Hall and get rid of Flynn Downs, I would take Dewsbury Hall. And they're both a similar player, just one is a bit more ahead.
Well, what was you going to say, Charlie, before I hand it over to WestHamOnline for Downs?
I was just it's fine. I was just going to dig him out some more. It's fine. Don't worry about it. WestHamOnline, you can talk.
Fair enough. Online.
I remember at the start of the season, I think we were not. Maybe a couple months in, Mitch turned around and he said about how he was saying that Downs should definitely be in the team over Souček. And that seemed to be a general consensus in the fan base. Everyone was saying something similar. I don't think it's a close debate. I don't think Downs is a bad player, and I think he's a useful member of the squad. But I compare him and Souček, who one is loved, one is hated. And I think the only thing that Downs has over Souček is turning radius. I think he turns better, which gets him out of trouble at times. But
you got to give him the passing as well.
And passing and all. Come on, man.
Well, I'd give Souček passing. Short passing, Downs, yes. But passing range, I'd give it to Souček. I think Downs' passing range is
can...
I think that range is down to the fact that he doesn't play much and he doesn't really want to make.
Yeah, but I've got to ask this though. You're saying about Souček, but Souček's been with West Ham since 2020. This is Flynn's first season at West Ham, and he's getting this much heat.
He's not. He's getting barely any hate.
But what I'm saying, he's getting criticised for his first season as a part-time fucking player.
He's not. People think he's like a youth player. How old is he? 24.
24, yeah.
He rightfully, like every player, deserves criticism when things aren't going right, and his passing range isn't good enough. He doesn't add enough to the team. He's aggressive and he's a good presser at times, and he's got good turning radius. Apart from that, I don't know. I don't really see what he offers. I thought he was really good when he came on at Fulham away, and apart from that, I don't think he's impressed in any Premier League game this season. So I'm going to give him a low 6.
Low 6. We'll move on to this man. Before we do, I'll just see what Jack said about Souček in the chat. I'm so glad Souček's not playing tonight because I've ripped Souček a new one, Jack. That's just a message for Jack there.
But why? He's not even played. How can you complain about him if he's not played, bro?
He's at home, fucking eating potato salad, the bastard. Anyway, Pablo Fornells. Alf, talk to me.
Really poor.
Really bad,
poor. Again, last 2 games he started and he's been shocking, which is a shame because I wanted him back in the team. And it's an issue because if he continues to play like this, obviously he can't play because it's just disgraceful performances. But then we have Ben Rama, who I think had about 6 bad games in a row. And we have Cornet, who can't even get in the team. So we've clearly got a major issue on the left. I don't know what I'd do. I don't know who I'd start in the next game against Man United on the left. I think I'd go for Ben Rama just because he played well against Man United last time. But even that is terrible logic. It just sums up the sort of logic that I have to resort to now after watching these 2 lads play. I'm a huge fan of Fornells, but I don't know whether it's lack of sharpness, lack of confidence, but he seems to have dropped off a cliff, sadly. And in the situation we're in, we don't have time to wait. So I would say he was one of our worst players, and I would give him a Low. I'd give him a 4.
Cool. Okay, now I'll go next. I hear what you're saying about Benny, and you're right. He hasn't been good. But Fornells has had enough time to be sitting on the bench and getting ready for his chance, and he hasn't really took his chance. Let's be real. I can't really judge him on tonight, really.
You just said you just said the exact opposite thing about Flynn Downs. He doesn't get enough game time. When he comes on, he can't be that good. That's a bit unfair, James.
Yeah, but the difference is Pablo Fornells is hyped up massively. Flynn isn't. That's the difference.
Oh, but you can say
no.
You can switch that around.
You can say that. You can say that. You can say that, and you can interrupt me while I'm fucking landing, right? But what I'm saying
for interrupting you, by the way.
Fornells is loved and like for singing bubbles to his kids. Flynn is there, right, and doesn't really get a look in at any time. Do you know what I'm saying? For Pablo, he should have played games, granted, but the man, him down there, who's been backing Mr. Moyes for a fucking long time, doesn't fancy him anymore. There's something happened to Pablo Fornells. I don't know what it is, but he's just lost his way. He's just lost his way, and he's just not the same man anymore. He works hard, like Scott says in the chat. That's all he does. He just works hard. So I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10 tonight. I agree with Alfie. It's not good enough, in my opinion. I think he's massively overhyped. I've always said that. And he's loved for what he does off the pitch rather than what he does on it, in my opinion.
On. He's been way better on the pitch than clowns like, I don't know, let me throw a name out there. Ben Rama, maybe. Like,
right. But if that is the case, and you're right to say that, why has Moyes not played it?
I don't know.
Right. So there you go. You know what I mean? And Moyes is the man that you keep consistently backing, but we move. Lucas.
For me, I would say he was probably our worst player today. I don't know if it was for bad, but I thought he was more of just a passenger today, if I'm being honest. Towards the end, where we could have scored, that was absolutely awful from him. If one thing's for certain, 2 of the players we have playing left wing cannot shoot a football unless it's a penalty for one of them. But we move. Yeah, not good enough today. Probably our worst player. I'm going to give him, by the skin of his teeth, a 5.
Charlie.
Yeah, outside of this game, adore him. I think I love him so much. I think he's a beautiful, wonderful man. On a personal level, he seems like a lovely geezer. Also, I think he's a great footballer. But yeah, today was not his day by any stretch of the imagination.
Charlie, I think I agree with you on everything.
Great minds, Alfie. You know what I mean? Just great minds think alike. It's one of those things, isn't it? It's just a synergy thing. No, I today he just wasn't good enough for you, was he? Realistically, I don't like Lucas said. I think he was a bit of a passenger. I can barely remember a single thing he did, which is pretty. Like I can't. I can barely. I remember one half decent pass in the first half that didn't come to anything, and like
that's what I'm saying. Like I don't think he was that bad today. He was just a passenger to the fullest extent.
But it's 2 games now, back to back, where he's been a ghost, mate.
Well, he needs a run of games. You can't expect someone to just come off the bench firing.
No, you've just contradicted yourself because you're saying about Flynn, and Flynn only comes in like part time. So make your mind up what you're saying, right? Yeah, well, you're saying about he needs a run of games. He's had 2 games in a row. Flynn's had 1. And
That's
fucking you're criticising Flynn Downs, my brother.
Matches. I didn't criticize Flynn Downs.
You back off, bro. Back off. Right, what you saying about here? What you saying about Fornells, man? Get to the fucking point.
Yeah, good shot from the halfway line. Good shot from the halfway line.
I think when I was looking at the stats, he had the most amount of shots on the pitch. I think he had as many shots as Haaland did, which is a bit of an issue for West Ham from an attacking standpoint today. I don't know. He just wasn't good enough. He's sort of mid-fire, but he was just sort of existing on the football pitch, not really doing much. I don't know. I can't really remember anything he did, so 5.
Yeah, I hear you, mate. Lucas, what you rating him?
I gave him just a 5.
Just a 5. We move on to the Brazilian sensation. Well, if anyone wants to call him that. Start off with Charlie. What do you make of Lucas Paqueta tonight, Charlie?
I thought he was mixed. I thought he was good at times. I thought there was times where he began to sort of. I think if something was going to happen, it was going to happen if something was going to happen that wasn't a big old boot to Mikel Antonio and him creating magic, it was probably going to happen through him. And I think at times he almost got going, but it was just a struggle to get there. And I think he dropped off in the second half. I'd probably say a high 6. Yeah, it's difficult. It's a difficult one.
The only thing with me, I'll go next. The only thing with me that irritates me a little bit, he just doesn't release the ball quick enough in certain situations. Like tonight, how many times could he have played a through ball into Antonio or Bowen at certain moments? And he holds on to the ball. I remember in the second half, Antonio's running through. He only wants the ball played into like space, and Antonio's on it. And Antonio had to check his run, and then eventually it goes backwards again. I like him. He's improved massively over the last sort of few weeks, I will say that. And tonight just wasn't his night, but we move. Like, he's going to be important to us. So for tonight, I'll give him a 6 out of 10. I thought he done well, but we did lose the game. And just the passing, just sometimes he needs to land it a bit more quicker and faster in certain moments for me. West Ham Online.
Hi. I think that I don't know why he joined us, because we don't suit what he likes to do with the football. I do. Weirdly, I'm going to completely contradict myself here and say I think some of the things he does suits the David Moyes team, but I think he's better than that. I think he can suit a Moyes team in the fact that he's robust. He can be a good presser if he improves his pressing angles. He's fights for the badge. I hate saying that, but he does fight for the badge. But he's much better than that. He should be playing in a team that keeps the ball, and he should be on the ball, getting a good feel of the ball. And he doesn't get enough of the ball in this team because obviously we have about 6% possession. I thought it was all right. I thought it was decent today, actually. He tries things that some of our players can't see. As I said, as always, he was robust. I thought he was good on the ball, good in spaces. He kept the ball well. Thought he had a nice link up down the left with Emerson and Creswell in terms of the technical security, but they didn't create anything as a sort of triangle. So that was all it really led to. I'll give him a 6.
Agree with these side views there. Need a progressive manager.
Possibly side views.
Yeah. Lucas.
For me, he was probably arguably our second or third best player today, but he done a few good bits. Some of his dribbling and passes today, again, just they leave me in awe a bit because he is a very, very good player. And yeah, like Alfie said, sometimes I do think about if he was in another side, he would look unbelievable, and maybe he would be close to the world-class title that I want to give him. He's not there yet, obviously, but I do think he can get close. But again, today, I think he was a bit better than average because he did have some good moments, but ultimately not enough today. And I agree with Charlie. He said it before me. If anything was going to happen today, it was going to be through him. So I'm going to give him a strong 6. I don't know if I can give him a 7, but a strong 6.
Strong 6 for you. We'll move on to Jared Bowen. Start off with West Ham Online. What do you make of Jared tonight?
In the 60 minutes I watched, he done absolutely nothing. Honestly, I forgot he was playing.
You sound happy?
I'll be honest with you. I didn't even know that he came off in the 79th minute.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice.
I'm just going to give him a... Because this is weird, because I know he done some good defensive actions and stuff. So I'm going to...
He did do good defensive work today, I must admit. I'll say that.
I'm going to put him above Fornals, but with the ball, he actually done probably less than any other attacker.
You know what? He did create the one chance today. But
he did, yeah.
I didn't actually see it. I'll be honest, I didn't see it. So.
We rated him out.
5.
I'm going to give him a high 5.
Scott's giving him a 2.
I'm going to give him a high 5. I thought defensively he was decent stuff. I think him and Kufel in the first half were pretty good. obviously second half he just fell off an edge of a cliff. Really, Bowen did make a decent chance in the first half. I think it was. He's not the same player as he once was, and that's a problem. Is that because West Ham are just not playing like the same way that we once was? I don't know. Give him a high five. This wasn't good, Charlie.
Yeah, I think I heard the commentator say that he's the only West Ham player to have started every game this season or started every Premier League this game season, and I don't think it's a shock that like. The second half he dropped off in that sense. I mean, it's a bigger conversation about rotation and all that sort of stuff that's going on at the moment, right? And I think he's a prime person who I think it seems harsh to say, or it seems stupid to say, but once the game is definitely gone, just take him off and rest him because there's no point. Yeah. You just sort of have to be realistic about these things. He needs a break because he is just going. Was
you surprised, Charlie, that he started?
No, but only because the options around it aren't great, and he's obviously with our hand was forced a little bit given sickness and all that other sort of stuff, and given the people who would start there. Otherwise, I wasn't shocked.
Team
I
Charlie,
would want to rest him, but I don't know who the hell you put him in his place. Otherwise,
Charlie, I'm on your team for that one.
Thank you, Alfie. But yeah, no, but in the first half he did. Listen, I'm a friendly guy, James. I think in the first half he did, but I do think in the first half there was a couple of opportunities where he was making it happen. Low 6, maybe mid 6. 6. It was a 6.
Fair enough, Charlie. Lucas.
Jared Bowen, I love the man, and I will always say it, the hardest working and the best defending winger in the Premier League. He made 2 decent runs today. He got on the end of a Flynn Downs pass, and then I'm pretty sure Soufal played a ball to him that led to our best chance of the day, where it's a shame because Emerson was completely alone back post, but the angle, there was no way that Bowen was going to get the ball through, so he had to have a shot on goal. Yeah. But yeah, I do feel for him a little bit because the guy he plays all the time. And we expect so much from him when in reality, if we were run a bit better, he'd have like a bit more rest. He come in the games like just fully with his head on fire, ready to go. But again, today he done 1 or 2 good bits, defended well. But besides that, just again, average. I'm going to give him just a 6.
Just a 6 for you. And we will move on to this man, Mikel Antonio.
And don't forget Bowen. He worked hard. He works hard.
He always does. Mikel Antonio. For me, I thought he was unlucky today, really. I thought he worked hard today. And yet there was a few times where he was running around trying to get the ball. There was a few times where he could have been played in from people. Fornells could have played him in one time. I remember it. Paqueta, another time. Emerson, another time. And he's just not receiving the balls at the right times. I'm going to give him a 6 just for like sheer graft. He put some graft in today. I will say that. And he was trying and he was having battles with people. Diaz should have been booked in the first half and he didn't. Antonio turns in.
Yeah, that was disgusting.
The referee should have booked Diaz, but he didn't do it. So yeah, I'll give him a 6 out of 10. Though. Yeah, he did, mate, indeed. Alf, what do you make of Antonio?
10.
Fair enough.
Big.
Favourite player, yeah. Charlie, what about you, Antonio?
Yeah, I agree with Alfie. No, I think he was. Yeah, he works really, really hard, and like you just look at today and you just think, what is he like? We just boot the ball at him, and he has to fight several centre backs to.
We have such a good foundation. We work hard.
We boot the ball at him. He then has to fight several centre backs to even get to the ball, and then has to pick the ball up, then run half the length of the pitch with the ball, and then create something or score at the other end. Like Jesus, the guy has to do so much. And I think today he was doing it. First half, man, he was putting in a shift. He was out there, and I wish we could rest him more because. Again, we just don't have anyone else to put in that position because my God, does he need it / deserve it? Yeah, I'd give him a low 7 maybe. High 6.
Ooh.
I think he just went for it. There's nothing. What more can he do? What more can he actually do? Like realistically,
go for it,
genuinely, what
man.
more can he do? Diaz rocks up first half and decides to just going to have you. You are
Yeah.
mine. And it's like, what more can he actually do than what he's doing? You know?
Yeah, I agree, mate. Lucas, what you rating him?
Charlie, real quick, can I just have your best? Just go for it, man.
Just go for it, man. You know what I mean? Just have a pop.
Fair enough.
Have a pop.
What you saying, Lucas?
What you just said, I agree with, but he also needs to do better in playing in his teammates as well. That's probably one thing that's really been, what's the right word? That has been nagging me a bit in the past few matches, I must admit. While he is working hard, he's making good runs. He does take people on decently, but as much as people should be playing him in, he needs to play others in, because there's been plenty of other opportunities where he could play someone else in, and he just doesn't. And his hold-up play, it's got to be a bit better, in my opinion. I don't want to see him take on 3-4 guys when all he has to do is just hold it up a bit, and he can play it off, and we can build. But again, works hard, like I will be doing on Friday and Saturday, especially like Super Chef as well. I will be working hard, but yeah, a 6 for me. Like, I really, not a lot to complain about for me. And again, he is basically just going into bar fights now.
Fair enough.
He can't be a doorman if he's fighting.
10.
You know what I mean?
10 out of 10.
Well, whatever you say, Alfred. We'll get to the subs quickly. Let's start with this man. Danny, I'm on loads of fucking dough, stealing the living, Ings. I do not understand why your manager, Alfred, put him on the pitch tonight. Explain.
When Ings joined, I said it was a terrible signing.
Yeah, he was right. I'll give you that.
And I'd just like to say, I tweeted it out before Nottingham Forest game. He scored 2 and I got loads of abuse. To all you people that abused me, I hope you're in my mentions tonight apologising. You're a disgrace.
Listen, part-time online, what did you rate him?
1.
Lucas.
I will always mention it. We had to sign Danny Ings ultimately, which is sad. We had to because of our striker situation, but yeah, it just did not work out in our favor one bit. He's, to be polite, he stinks. He offers nothing. He's a good dancer though, from what I've seen. Great dancer. But yeah, he just offers us nothing. It is so funny. Yeah. I actually love Danny Ings now because he's such a joke. I love it.
What are you rating him, Lucas?
I'm gonna give him 3. A 3.
Charlie, what you saying?
Big 4 energy. You know what I mean? The big low, just pointless. To answer your question, by the way, why he gets brought on, because someone has to come on for Mikel Antonio.
You know, I'm claiming Danny Ings is my new favorite player.
Maxwell Cornet would have been the man for there. Balls over the top for him to run onto.
I don't necessarily disagree, but he's not exactly in blistering.
I make Ben right here.
But listen, what are you going to gain from Ings when Ings has done fuck all recently? You're going to get more from Cornet, who you.
If you get one single chance, who are you more confident putting it in the box, putting it actually into the net, Cornet or Ings?
Well, Ings needs to stay on the side before he gets a chance. Charlie,
Cornet needs to stay on side.
I have to say this real quick. It is an absolute, and this my one serious take on Danny Ings.
On that, by the way.
It is an absolute disgrace. He comes on in the first 30 seconds. Ben Johnson wins the ball, go for it, and he's offside. Like,
fucking embarrassing.
What are we doing, man?
It's embarrassing.
Sorry, Charlie. He is my favorite player at West Ham, though.
I don't know. Ings is it's just pointless. But at that point, whatever, man. I really don't care. Just get him on, get Antonio off, rest him, and let's just see out the rest of the game without being able to do anything, because all of a sudden we don't have
me and Charlie have known for time now, and it makes way more sense. You know who's better than Danny Ings and provides way more? King.
Jordan bloody Hugo, bruv.
is 10 times the man Danny Ings will ever
Oh,
be.
we'd offer more in this system than Ings, absolutely. Just for his
Bruv.
intensity off the ball would be better.
Get him back.
Yes.
I said he was a good signing, George. I was wrong. You're wrong about Ben Rama, my friend.
He's gaslighting.
Anyway, I will move on from
Real
that. From
quick,
people
all I
using
gotta say
my
Jordan
stuff.
Hugo is
Hold
tearing
on,
it up.
Lucas.
He's
I
tearing
want
it
to
up.
land on Ings. Is that okay with you? I'm giving him a 2 because he's shit. He comes on the pitch. He
You're
does nothing
gaslighting
at
him.
all, right? And at the end of the day, this man can't even stay on side. He can't even stay on back inside.
You're gaslighting a world-class striker.
Good for you, mate. Do you know what I mean? And you're part-time online and all, so stop talking bollocks. Do you know what I mean? Right, we'll get to him. Ben Johnson. I thought he'd done all right when he come on, I'll be honest. He didn't really do a lot wrong. Let's have some quick ratings. Lucas, what you saying?
5. And I think once he goes on loan to Rotherham with Jordan Hugo, Connor Coventry, and Dominguez Quina, we are going to be massive again. We are massive in the championship.
Yeah. Charlie?
Is that where Dominguez Quina is at Rotherham?
It's mad, isn't it?
That's balmy to me. That is bonkers. Yeah. Low 5. I think Jack Grealish started to really. I don't know. I think he just sort of stepped up on him. I don't think he was that good when he come on. But I like Ben Johnson a lot, and I trust him a lot more than most people do. And I think he gets too much hate. But in general, in this game, I don't think he was that great. I would say low 5 probably.
Alf?
Well, that's one thing me and Charlie don't agree on. I think he's useless. But today I'm going to give him a 10.
Fair enough. Let's get to him. I'll give him a 5. Standard performance. Ben Rama comes on, runs around
5.
a lot, doesn't really do a lot. 5 for me. Charlie, what you saying?
Low 5. I can't remember a single thing he did.
Yeah. WestHamOnline, we'll move on. Anyway.
I need to narrate it.
Carry on.
9.
Fair enough, mate. I mean, you've got to respect it. I don't even know who else come on, but we will move on to the subs. Ref, sorry. Done the subs. What do you make of the ref today, Charlie? I'll let you go first.
You know me. I don't really care about the refs. I think, whatever. Low 6, it makes no difference to me. It is what it is. The one thing. Thanks, Alfie. The one thing is it was the Diaz thing I thought he should have got a yellow at the beginning of the game.
100%.
He sort of put his stamp on Mikel Antonio and then decided not to touch him because he was a bit too close. But it was like, apart from that, I really don't care. Low 6, whatever. Refs are refs.
Lucas?
You already know my standard. He's not walking away in handcuffs today. Thank fuck for that. Yeah, he's gonna get my standard 4 out of 10.
Alfred?
It was good. 7.
7 for you. I'll give him a standard 5 because that's what he gets for me. All right, let's come to this man, David Moyes. He's going to be interesting. Why is Maxwell Cornet not getting on this pitch? That's the first question I need to ask everyone. Is why? This is a free hit tonight. We're 2-0 down, 3-0 down. He still does not bring him on. Just makes no sense to me. I'll let Charlie go first because obviously Charlie's a guest. What do you think of him tonight, of what he had to do, mate? Of what he had?
I thought he got it right. I thought he basically got it bang on. I think Cornet coming on is maybe the one thing, but outside of that, I think he basically got it right. I think he set the team up right. I think in a difficult scenario where there was basically no options for him, I think he got it right. And I think we almost, from the first half performance anyway, we showed that we could have potentially got something from that game. Yeah, tough hand for him dealt today, and I think he did. I think given what he had, I think he did all right with it.
But did he do all right with it, or did the players do all right in the first half? Because that second half, but the second half, you take off Antonio and you bring on Ings. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
No options, James. I don't necessarily disagree with you, right? And I would prefer Cornet get more game time, but Cornet hasn't exactly been on it.
But
like,
then
we can't act like that's a major difference. Like,
but how's he supposed to get game time if he's sitting on the bench in a game that's meaningless? That's what.
How's he getting? Why is he not getting game time? Like, you need to ask yourself these questions. And I genuinely, I agree with you. I would want to see Cornet get more game time, and I would prefer him to come on over over Danny Ings in general. But realistically, in a game where you're like, this is going to be tight and it's going to come down to one opportunity, are you going to trust the guy who's actually capable of putting the ball in the net or Maxwell Cornet? It is what it is, because Maxwell Cornet is probably going to create a chance more likely. And I think he suits the system more than Danny Ings does. But realistically, like, it's much of a muchness. It doesn't really make a difference. The second Mikel Antonio
They wash each other out, in my opinion, currently.
I think the second Mikel Antonio goes off, it literally doesn't matter who you bring on, because no one's going to work. So,
I don't know. I look at it a bit different. I think Cornet hasn't played, and what he has played, he's played bare minimum. Let's be real.
Yeah,
he needs the game time. He needs to get on the pitch and get some minutes and get some confidence back. Right, I will say that. I would have thought 70th minute, take Antonio off, bring Cornet on, play him up front. The game's dead. We're dead. We're not going to do anything in this game from then on. I just don't get what you learn from Danny Ings. I just don't get it. I know what you're saying about the chance.
I don't think now is about learning, though. I think we're too late into the season to learn anything. I think now is about just taking the chance. And again, this is against Manchester City.
It's too late for him to learn
down.
the offsides rule as well. He doesn't know that rule.
Neither does Cornet. Let's be fair, right? But
neither does Ings.
Well, yeah, no wrong. But it's just one of those things where it's not about learning anymore. It's just about taking the opportunities. And to be fair, the game was already dead and buried by that time. I mean, it just is what it is. I think he got it right in a difficult scenario. I think he got it correct. This isn't a 10 out of 10 got it correct, but he got the decisions he needed to get right. And I think he set the team out in the right way. And I think first half shows that actually, on today specifically, we're not rating David Moyes over the course of a season or the month or whatever. Like, we're just specifically today, I think he got it right. I would say probably somewhere in the sevens. I don't know where, but I think he got it correct.
Alf, what you saying?
Another great tactical performance from the big man. I think it was damage limitation tonight, and what I saw was I think there was an agreement in place for this game. I think we wanted City to win the league, and we sort of said don't go above 4, and they done us a favour and got 3.
I do respect that.
Yeah, I do respect it. I think I've got to look at 2 things here. Moyes got his selection right, apart from the fact I wouldn't have played Antonio, but that's only because I believe he's absolutely knackered. Mark Warburton, oppositional analysis. I think he got some parts of it right today. I'm going to give Mark some credit. Ogbonna on Haaland, I agreed with. I think that was great oppositional analysis from Mark Warburton. But I've got to give him a bit of criticism here. We all know Mark is part of the catering staff as well. And I don't know what was in that lasagna last night, but to see Rice and Aguerd and Soucek.
Can you land your fucking point? It is 12 o'clock at night. I want to go to bed.
I'd say a 7 for Moyes. And regarding Mark Warburton, I think he needs to stick to what he's good at, pottery. He's a terrible assistant manager. I think the main problem with Mark is the way he engages with his backroom staff. I think he's...
His backroom staff or David Moyes' backroom staff?
David Moyes' backroom staff.
Okay, so just wanted to double check.
You've been called out.
I think he's lackadaisy. I think he's weak.
That just woke me up, Charlie. Thank you.
I think he lacks balls in this sort of scenario. If it was me, I'd be turning to Mark and saying, are you ready for this?
Fucking people in my chat ain't ready for your shit tonight. I know that for certain. I will go next. Thank fuck I can get on this now. For me, the cards that he was dealt beforehand with the players that were out were a bad set. He done well in the first half. Second half, I don't understand the Cornet thing. I really don't. Whether Ings is coming on or not, Cornet should have been on the pitch tonight. Yeah, once the game's dead, Cornet should have been on. I don't know what's going on with Moyes to a certain point with Cornet. That was a perfect game to play.
Yeah, it wasn't on Moyes.
And it definitely was on Moyes, Alfred. Let me land.
Honestly, the team selection in regards to player profiles on the wing, that's down to Mark Warburton because he's analysing the opposition.
Listen, you are part-time online because you've only watched 60 minutes. Now, shut up and let me finish, right? And that's it, basically. I think Moyes, let's be honest, what did we do tonight? Like, really, in the attacking sense, we didn't really do a lot. We just sat there and just tried to defend for our lives, and it is what it is. And now you know why he don't ever beat a top 6 side away from home. But it is what it is. What am I going to give him tonight? I'll give him, for the first half performance, defensive display, and all the lads, I'll give him a 6 out of 10.
What would you give his backroom staff?
I'd give you a 1 tonight because that's all you deserve. You know what I mean? That's all you deserve.
In all seriousness, James, what would you actually give Warburton? Like looking at his oppositional
Christ
analysis.
above Alf, please.
No,
Alf don't know how-
he has to get a rating. He's the assistant manager.
I'm trying to eat, Alf. And
Yeah,
you're just
Alf.
waffling.
I'll
Alf,
be honest. I'd take Warburton as manager. I'd be quite happy with that. I'm not going to lie.
Don't tell WestHamOnline that, mate. He'll have he'll start smashing his face off the floor. What do you make of that, then, Alf? Would you take Warburton as manager?
I think he's one of those people where you look at him and you think, what does he offer?
I mean, he'd be off opposition analysis if he's manager. He gets someone
Time
else
to go to the ice cream man.
Maybe Moyes could do that, and he could be manager.
I think he lacks the sort of consistency in regards to his gegenpress to be manager. For a team like this, I think you're looking more towards a David Moyes type. Someone with a bit of cojones. Someone with a bit of
testicular fortitude.
Yeah, something like that. I think we're looking at a man in David Moyes who has done it. And I'd just like to do a quick shout out to Big Sam. I watched his interview earlier where he essentially said he's better than Pep, Arteta and Klopp. What a man. What a man.
It was bold.
Big Sam, outstanding from him. He kept a straight face while saying it. For me, Sam Allardyce is the best troll the Premier League has ever seen. And he always will be. And I can't believe people don't like him. He's outstanding. I loved it when he cupped his ears at the West Ham fans and essentially shushed them. I thought it was outstanding work. He's just brilliant.
Alf, you do talk incredible amount of bollocks, bruv. Lucas, are you there? Or where the fuck is Lucas?
I'm back. I'm back.
Right, thank fuck you're back because I can't listen to Alfie Jones talking more crap than usual. What are you saying about Moyes? And we're talking about the future.
I must admit, what Sam Allardyce did say was absolutely amazing. I will agree. But today, I think Moyes got he done some things right. He rotated. First half was great. Substitutions, shit. Yeah, and I think he set us up decently for Sunday. I'm gonna give him a strong 6 for the first half performance.
Yeah.
What about Warburton?
Mate, fuck off. I'm trying to eat.
Yeah, fuck off with your Warburton. Right, let's talk about the future. Obviously, tonight's game is done and finito. Obviously, Man United at the weekend. I'm going to ask you a simple question, really, because like last season, we only got 1 point out of the remaining 4 games that we've got left. Where are we getting the points from, Charlie, in these remaining 4 games? Are you a bit worried or nervous about it? Because if we get to the Brentford game after the AZ game, we still haven't picked up no points. Like, is it panic stations?
No, I'm not worried at all.
No?
Honestly, I think we could lose every game for the rest of the season and still be safe. I'm
I
not worried.
agree.
I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen. We're going to pick up a point on Sunday, and we're going to lose our last 3.
That'd be totally calm. That's fine by me. I mean, like, I think I want us to get 1 point, maybe 2 more, and I would have preferred us to get it sooner than now. But realistically, I'm actually genuinely not concerned. I think we're safe. I'm not worried at all. I think the Leeds and the Leicester game are obviously the big 2. You don't lose those games, and you're like, in order for us to go down, I was talking to Jack about this the other day, but in order for us to go down, 3 of the teams that are below us have to get 5 points, and that's considering the fact that that's if we lose every single game that's left.
But we could
It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Yeah,
don't know
we
about
might do. We could do it. They're not going to do it. We're at the bottom of
Yeah.
the table for a reason. Everyone's at the bottom of the table because no one's picking up points. Not because it's not like at the top of the table where Arsenal don't win and all of a sudden Manchester City leapfrog them. Like it's just not going to happen. It's just they aren't going to get the points. I'm very calm about it.
Don't you find it quite embarrassing, Charlie, that we stay up by default basically because other teams are that fucking bad that they can't even string points together?
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
I mean, yes, but I mean, what's the end? I don't really care about embarrassment. It sucks. We've had a crap season. There's been a lot of nonsense going on. It just is what it is. At this point, it's just about getting out of it. I'm more concerned about the Europa Conference League than I am the Premier League. I think we're safe in the Premier League. It sucks, don't get me wrong, and next season has to be different. We can't be doing this 2 years in a row. We can't do that, but, you know.
This is the farthest thing away from embarrassment I've felt supporting this club.
I think if we end the season poorly, it's another wake-up call as well. So as long as we stay up, it's fine. But I would like to say this. Quick 3 lines for the Don, Sam Allardyce. Couldn't see no way out. Had to stay up. Get to shooting, we don't lay up. Count the bag and better pay up.
Damn, you are vanilla.
I can't believe you're talking about another manager. I couldn't give a fuck about Sam Allardyce. Fucking waste of time. I'm more worried about West Ham United part-time online. How can I put this? I am nervous about the remaining 4 games. I ain't going to lie. Yous might not be, but it wouldn't surprise me if someone nicks a win from somewhere and puts us under pressure. The AZ game next week's big. Because if we draw that game against AZ, then we go to Brentford the following game, then he ain't going to go full strength against Brentford, is he?
Everton aren't going to finish above us, are they? Because they're definitely going to lose to Brighton and Man City. They're definitely going to lose 2 out of 4 at least. And they'd have to win the other 2 to come above us. So that they're not coming above us. Nottingham Forest, they've got 4 games. I don't think they'll come above us. I think we'll get 1 more point. I think that'll be enough to come above them. So that's 2 already. Leeds, good chance they will stay up now. They've got Big Sam through the door or whatever he could fit through. And Leicester, I don't know. We will see with Leicester. I'm a bit stuck with them.
I'm going Southampton, Everton, Forest. That's my 3.
Southampton, Forest. I always said about Forest for a long time. I wish Alfie would have took that bet last season at 14-1, which I said to you about Leicester. I told you Leicester would be fighting relegation, and you laughed in my face.
I have to say though, another man I've got to shout out tonight, elite analyst. He tweeted after the game, "I'm proud of you, West Ham."
Well, fair enough. Do you know what I'm saying? Right, that's the Premier League sorted out. Let's talk about AZ. Obviously, that's next Thursday. There's a lot of time from now till then. What are you expecting on Thursday, Charlie, before we wrap this up?
Don't know.
Vibes,
pure vibes. I don't know. I really don't know. We should beat them.
Right.
We should beat them. I'm concerned we won't. My bigger worry is just rotating the team and getting the energy back in this team. Because if we continue like we are right now, then they're not going to have the energy to take on a European Conference League semi, which is the bigger issue. I think on paper, contextless, we should beat them.
Yeah.
Right. But that lack of energy and fitness that's going on right now, you rock up like that in a Europa League semi, an Europa Conference League semi, you're going to get done in. So I'm a little bit concerned.
You can't come into a semi soft.
You can't.
I'll tell you that.
You can't. It's not a good look. It's not a good look.
No flaccid movements into a semi-final.
None of that. So yeah, I mean, also home at first doesn't help. So yeah, it's a tall task. It's a very, very tall task. And look, I don't care how we do it. As long as we get the wins, then I really don't care in those games. That's all I care about. All these other ones I've been talking about, performance, this and all this other nonsense. Yeah. Bro, in that game, I couldn't give less of a crap. We could have 1% possession. As long as that possession ends up in a 1-0 victory, I don't care. But it's going to be a very tall task.
But let me ask you this, Charlie, yeah? Because obviously I spoke to the lads for a while, like obviously on here, and I don't really speak to you as much. the problem I have is basically what are we going to learn from last season that we don't do again this season, like i.e. against AZ.
I don't know if there is anything you can learn about it. I think last season the difference is last season we were facing a significantly better team, right? Like obviously when you look at the Frankfurt game, they were significantly better than AZ, and I think there's not really much you can do. I think I don't know. It's really difficult to say. It's really, really difficult to say. And I haven't seen them enough to really get a full grips on what AZ are all about. I've seen them a couple of times and they've been decent in those games and it's shaking me up a little bit. But realistically, we are a better team than them. And if you look at it again on paper, we should be able to beat them. I don't know what lessons there are to be learned outside of just do it better this time, because I think we were comprehensively beaten. But again, AZ aren't as good a side, so we should again, in theory, we should be fine. It's all about the Man United game. If we can put in a good performance against Man United and potentially maybe rest some players that we need to rest, whether they're ill or not, just rest them, not having played a game, then hopefully that should help, because we really need to. We're at home first. We need to make it count. We can't go into that second leg hoping.
Yeah. Someone said to me, I think it was Clive who told me, they're missing two of their big hitters, AZ, in the first leg. One of their strikers and one of their assist merchants.
Top scorer, top assister.
Yeah, so basically that's a plus for us. One thing with this AZ team that I've noticed, away from home, they're vulnerable big time. They just against Dundee in the qualifying round. And then they went back to their place in Holland and fucking smashed 7 past them. So at home, they're decent. Away from home, they're a bit vulnerable. If we can do a job on them in the first leg, and set up how we set up tonight in a way to say, come and break us down, then we might be able to get the job done and get to the final. And then it's anyone's in the final.
2-0 minimum for me.
I agree.
We have to go into the away leg with 2 goals. I
think you've got to work. Let's get me words out. You've got to work the rotation right against Manchester United. Whatever the result is with Man United in the last 10 minutes, if West Ham are still in the game, and West Ham looking at a draw or a win, set up just get these players off and get them ready, because we're going to need them next week.
I truly believe if we play the way we did today, we can get a point on Sunday. I really do.
And I also think the first half, especially today, shows that actually I don't even think we need 2-0 going in. I think we just need a win in the first leg. And we should be able to see it out. I think that first half showed today that we should be able to see it out. That's a tired team who have done a lot of football. Some of the key players missing because, I don't know, some bug or whatever. And we still managed to take Manchester City in that first half and actually just go, no, you're not going to score. We should, in theory, be able to do that to AZ if we go into it with a lead. Even if it's just 1-0, we should be able to do that because it just suits us. It's just about that first leg and being fit enough to make it work. I would take, if you told me right now, you can take a 1-0 win against AZ, but you lose to Manchester United, I'd be like, yeah, every single day of the week. I really couldn't give less of a crap. That's where we're at.
Right, before I go then, Charlie, I'm gonna put you on the spot now. I'm gonna ask you how you see both games going against AZ. What you thinking?
Vibes, Charlie. Vibes. Think of the vibes. Go with your vibes. This is the Vibe Tribe.
Vibe Tribe. We beat them at home.
Yeah.
We beat them at home. 3-1. That was mad of me. And then away, we beat 3-1 again. Vibes. All vibes. No, I think we do have it. I think we do have it. My head is speaking now. I think we have it. I think we'll beat them. I think we'll beat them over both legs. My head is speaking now. I think if we can beat the first leg, then the second leg should become significantly easier. Despite the fact we're away, we work better when we're in the lead, and essentially getting a lead in the first leg will help us, right? So I reckon we'll beat them in both legs. I think we go through to the final. What happens then? Who knows? But I think we'll get there.
Yeah, see, I agree with what George says there. No Zuma, no Kafal. Huge worry though. I agree. Defensively, we're going to have to sort our defence out, but we will save that for another time. Gentlemen, that's been Manchester City 3.
Playing them on Sunday, James.
Yes, I know, Alfred. Part-time online. Manchester City 3, West Ham United 0. Player rating. Thank you very much, Alfred. I'm here all week. Charlie, thank you very much for coming on, mate. I really do appreciate it. This is the nut house that you welcomed into, mate. So welcome. And I hope you've enjoyed it, mate.
Thank you. Subscribe to E20 Zone TV if you haven't already. What the hell are you doing? There's a button below. You press it and you subscribe and hit that bell notification button while you're at it.
Someone's got to remember besides me.
I know. That's why you are here. Alfie, thank you very much for coming on, watching 60 minutes and, you know.
Right, my quick promo. Tune in. It's going to have to be illegal, so just sort of don't tune in, but do. To the 3:00 kickoff of Leeds versus Manchester City on the weekend to watch Sam Allardyce school Pep Guardiola.
Q 6-0 Manchester City win. Lucas, thanks for coming on.
His assistant.
It was, yeah. Thanks for coming on, Lucas. We do appreciate it, mate.
Thank you.
No worries at all. Well, that's it from us. I'll be back towards the back end of the week. Friday, I think I'll be doing a opposition preview with 2 Manchester United fans. One of them's booked. One of them I'm waiting to get back to. The show must go on. Manchester United on Sunday, 7:00 UK time. Fucking the most weirdest Sunday kickoff ever. Right, 7:00 on a Sunday. That's mad, mate. Alfred will be there. You know what I mean? He's 6
I'm not happy about it at all. I was going to go out, like treat it like another Saturday because it's like bank holiday the next day. I was going to go down the pub.
Alf,
no, I'm going to be watching that crap.
Alf, what? Where'd you sit over there?
I sit in the Billy Bond stand.
What number?
Well, I'm not going to say that, but
because I want someone to come and see you, son.
I'll give everyone a clue. I'll give everyone a clue. You will hear me chanting the occasional Moyes chant, but no one seems to join in. Yeah, Scott has sat in my seat before. I've given my ticket to Scott once, and
have you?
Yeah, that is
Scott, tell me who it is. I'm going to expose this little git.
No, do not do that.
No, it won't be done. Right, lads, I'm going to let you go and enjoy your evening once I can find the thing that is to turn this off. I'm losing my lingo.
These knees, you are a prat.
WestHamOnline, you are a twat.
There it is. I've never found a love like this.
Yeah.